For example, RSP slash MP. RSP indicates Mr. R.S. Patel, who drafted the letter, and MP indicates Mr. M.K. Patel, who typed the letter. So if you want to have or make any changes in the letters, then you can always ask Mr. R.S. Patel or Mr. M.K. Patel. CC or carbon copy notation. When copies of the letters are meant to be sent to more than one person, it is mentioned under CC or carbon copy notation. The names of the person to whom copies are to be sent should be written adjacent to the left margin. Now CC means if you want to send the same letter to the principal as well as the head of the department, then you keep as a copy to CC to the principal as well CC to the head of the departments. Thus becomes a carbon copy notation. These are the format of writing the letter. You are not required to read what is written down. Just see this form. Here it is the right hand side margin, which you can write down as one of the style, and here becomes a salutation. Here it has been written down on the right hand side margin the sender's address. Okay. But in the block form, this is called as a semi-block form. This is called as the block form. In the block form, everything is on the left hand side. This kind of the style of writing letter is usually used now. We are not using this kind semi-block kind of the letter. In block type of the letter, you can very well see the sender's address as well as the receiver's address both comes on the left hand side. Date also comes on the left hand side. Then comes the subject line as well as the salutation, body of the passage and the complimentary clause. So usually we use the block form of writing the letters. Now types of letters. There are many types of letters. Few of them I have mentioned here. They are letter of complaint, letter of adjustment, letter of order, letter of inquiry and letter of request. This is the one specimen which is about inquiry letter. It has been written by Aroma Industries to Xylon Tools and Firms. The question suggests that Aroma Laboratories of GIDC Vatwa Ahmedabad wants to purchase some tool from Xylon Tools and Firms. Right. You can see to whom we have written down Aroma Industries is coming first, to whom the sender's address, the receiver's address is here. This becomes the subject. Inquiry for 200 industrial tool and model number so and so. Right. The subject line should be very short and precise. Dear sir is the salutation. Aroma Industries. Now when you are writing a letter, start introducing your own company first. It becomes Aroma Industries is one of the leading agents in Gujarat. And now in the second paragraph, as our order is large, we request you to offer us maximum discount and favorable terms of the payment. We have to supply machines before the last date, that is 30th July. So we wanted to know whether you are in position to supply the goods by 15th July. If your quotation is found reasonable, we'll definitely place an order. Coming to yours faithfully. Okay. And NG Modi, Aroma Industries. This is how you write down an inquiry of the tools. Request letter. Coming back to the inquiry, the reply of the inquiry can be in such a manner. While you are replying to an inquiry, you can always write down that these are the modes of my payment, like cash with order, CWO. These are the again abbreviation which we'll be learning again in the last slide. How you have to reply to an inquiry. If your firm is given an inquiry of certain tools of machineries, you can probably send a catalog. So while you are writing the letter, you can use abbreviations like in terms of payment, you can use like COW, cash on delivery, CWO, cash with payment, cash with the order, and you can also use an enclosure ENCL while you are enclosing the things like brochure to the institute or to the firm which is asking for it. The second letter is request letter. Amit Makwan from Mechanical Department writes a request letter to his head of the department to get permission for using the EME lab apart from the regular timetable. This is something when you are writing an official letter, but it is a letter of request. Let us see how we can write the letter. This is the whole way of writing letter. The sender's address comes first, Amit Makwan, enrollment number has been written down, Mechanical Department, 2nd November 2011. Coming to whom you are writing the letter, to the head of the department, Mechanical Department. Coming to subject, to grant permission to use EME lab. Wherever you want certain request is there, you always always write letters with words suggesting granting permission or requesting for doing certain things. So such words should always come when you are writing a request letter. Respected sir, I am Amit Makwan, and you are introducing yourself and your project. In the second one, you are also introducing which semester you are and why you require to use the lab and other resources. The class paragraph, you want to request by using or giving a permission to permit the lab during the college hours. If it would be of great help in completing the project. And again, you are thanking the person to doing a favor to you. Yours faithfully, and these are the different parts. This is the sender's address, this is the receiver's address, and the subject line. This is the body of the letter, and this is the complimentary clause. Coming to order letter. Order letter, specimen 3 is draft a letter to place an order of 200 industrial tools for your industries. Again, you have both the addresses on the left hand side. You have the subject, order for so and so tools, and we thank you for your catalog and price list. Just we had given you an inquiry letter. While you are writing an inquiry, you can always write an order letter. After placing an inquiry, you are getting the catalogs, you are getting the price list. Now what you do is you want to place an order to that inquiry. So while placing the order, what you have to take into account, take care is so and so things. We thank you for catalog and price list of industrial tool. We find the price and the terms reasonable, and we are pleased to place an order. Please send the goods by this many dates. This date we have enclosed here our order form and a check of 90 of the bill, that is cash with order. Please acknowledge the receipt. We could look forward to having a prompt and satisfactory execution of our order. Very simple and short. The check number is enclosed. Can you see this? This is the enclosure. Let us see the enclosures. Yes, enclosures, it is written that order form and check. Both are given. Order form and check. Here is the subject line as well as the body and both the addresses. Letter of adjustment. Now what is letter of adjustment? On behalf of Xylon Tool Firms, we should write a letter of adjustment to so and so company. In this specimen number 3, we can see that in letter of adjustment it is about the delay of execution of the order. Now what is the delay of execution of the order? There are, due to strike, you are not able to maybe you are not able to supply the things. Then what you are going to do is you are going to ask for some more time for giving supplying the orders, and thus you are writing down a letter of adjustment. Coming to abbreviations used in the letters. ASAP, as soon as possible. Why are these abbreviations used in the letters? These abbreviations are used in the letters because These abbreviations will be more effective if you are using the same thing again and again. When you are writing ASAP, it is very promptly written down, and it is saving your space as well as your time. CC is carbon copy. We have already learned about what is carbon copy. ENC or ENCL is enclosure. PP or per pro is per procunarium. PS is postscript. PTO is please turn over. RSVP is please reply. FOR is free on rail. Certain times it happens so that the things which has been sent is free. Postage and everything is free. So that is free on rail. Cash on demand. Cash with order. So all these are the abbreviations used in the letters. Quickly, let us go back to the first slide and revise what we have learned in letters. Okay. We will start with revising the first slide. Letters has got 7 C's: clear, concise, correct, courteous, conversational, convincing and complete. Heading also will have return address of the sender. Date, there are many formats of writing dates: British style and American style, cardinal and ordinal style, open and close punctuation. You have inside address. Inside address can be written down in semi-block or block style. Block style is usually preferred now, everything on the left hand side. Salutation can be many ways. One is dear sir, other one is about using Mr. or Miss, and a very professional salutation is given. Body should be written. Rarely it is handwritten, and if it is handwritten you can always use a line between the paragraphs. It can be indented, it can be block form. Professional language should be used. You should not use a slang language. You should not use colloquialism and swearing. Whenever you are giving any bad news, or you are using letters of adjustment, or you are using letters of complaint, use words which are not very rough or very harsh. You should always have a complementary clause. All these complementary clause will end with a comma. It is either a left margin or on the left edge. According to the style, we can use the complementary clause. Signature and conclusion. The conclusion can be yours faithfully if you have begun with dear sir, yours sincerely if you have written down certain names, and if not both of them, you can also use with regards. The secondary parts. The secondary part starts with the attention line. Attention line is about the kind attention to a particular or a specific person. Reference number is very important. Reference number is required when you are giving a reply to the letter which has been sent to you, and it will refer to the number which is sent. Enclosures are the documents which are enclosed inside say price list, like price list, catalog and other documents. Identification initials. A letter has been drafted by some person and it has been typed by some person. So those identification initials like RSPMP or any other one is written down on the very end of the page. CC is a carbon copy notation. You have to send one copy to some other person, then you usually write a CC to a person sent. These are the modes of writing. This is the semi-block and the block form of writing letters. 4 or 5 types of complaint letters, that is complaint, adjustment, order, inquiry and request. Complaint letter is a letter of complaint when you are complaining about something, say not working computer, or you are complaining about the delay of the things. What is adjustment? If you know that you will not be able to supply the things in a say given time, or you are going to delay your things to be supplied, then you write down a letter of adjustment. Please give us some more time, or adjust the things with so and so things. Order letter or inquiry letter is once you have sent an inquiry. An order is if the catalogs and the price list are compatible, then you are placing an order of that letter. You have letter of request. A request letter is the letter when you are requesting or for granting any permission from your higher authority, whether to take a leave or to do any other work. These are the examples of letters. and abbreviations used in letters. With this, we finish with letters, and now the second topic of this hour is about dialogue. What is a dialogue? Dialogue is nothing but a mode of conversation. What is dialogue? When two people speak to each other, that is called as conversation. And the words inside the inverted commas are called as the dialogues. Usually, we find these dialogues in novels, we find these dialogues in the scripts, we find these dialogues in conversation passages. So here we are now learning how to make effective dialogue writing. Dialogues, whenever you start as a diploma student, I will suggest you that you first take the data on which topic you are going to talk. If say you are talking about booking a ticket on a railway station, or if you are talking about planning your holiday sessions, first in your mind create a data. What else you need to talk about? If it is about advantages and disadvantages of computer, using an internet or using computers, you again make a data and then create two characters. Usually when you are writing an answer in a question paper, you should always use words which are not related. You can use A and B instead of writing names. And if you are writing names, the name should not be implying your own or identifying your own identification. Now, the first slide in the dialogue are things to remember. Let us now start with the first slide of dialogue. Things to remember in writing a dialogue. Write it as realistically as possible. Never use such words which will give any other feeling which becomes a humbug story, or it might not be relating to the natural way of writing. Becomes more realistic. Make it clear who is speaking when. Whenever you are writing a letter, I will show you the examples. Make very clear A is speaking or B is speaking. You should be very clear in telling who is speaking when. Do not give too much information or unrealistic information in dialogue. What is this? Too much information is more extending the things, expanding the things.